Empowering voices how Polly speaks for you restores confidence and enhances cognitive skills for individuals with dyslexia. This narrative is proudly brought to you by Polly Speaks For You. At Polly Speaks For You, we are committed to empowering individuals, especially those with disabilities or learning challenges, through innovative text-to-speech and voice recognition technology. Polly Speaks For You is more than just software. It's a tool for self-expression, connecting people with the world in meaningful ways. By blending the richness of history with cutting-edge technology, Polly Speaks For You demonstrates that every voice, whether preserving the past or shaping the future, has the potential to inspire. While we strive to make the story engaging, our primary focus is on storytelling itself. The visuals are secondary. We're showcasing the remarkable capabilities of text-to-speech software that bring these stories to life. For many individuals with dyslexia, the fear of reading aloud can be deeply rooted in years of negative experiences and the anxiety that comes with the disjointed way their words sound, even to themselves. Reading aloud is often a daunting task. Words that appear on the page may shift, blur, or scramble, making it extremely difficult to read fluently. This results in a sound that feels disjointed, hesitant, and incomplete, not only to others but also to the person reading. The fear of making mistakes and sounding awkward can create a sense of dread, leading to avoidance behaviors. A dyslexic person may struggle to speak with confidence, fearing that every attempt will reveal their perceived failure in front of others. This fear is not just about the inability to read clearly. It's also tied to the emotional toll of repeated failures in public settings. Imagine standing in front of a classroom, workplace, or even a family gathering, trying to read aloud, knowing that the words will come out garbled or incomplete. The disjointed, broken rhythm of their speech feels uncomfortable and unnatural, often leaving them embarrassed and self-conscious. This can lead to a vicious cycle where the more a person is required to read aloud, the more anxiety and fear they experience, reinforcing their negative self-perception. This internal conflict is painful to navigate, and the emotional distress of being unable to present oneself in a clear, organized manner can significantly impact self-esteem. The pain is compounded by the feeling that no matter how hard they try, they're simply not getting it right. The disorganized nature of their own reading often creates a sense of alienation from others. While others effortlessly read through passages, the dyslexic individual feels trapped in a maze of shifting letters, unsure of how to make sense of the jumble. Even when they understand the content, the act of translating that understanding into audible words can feel like an overwhelming challenge. The disconnect between their inner thoughts and the way those thoughts are expressed can feel like a deep fracture, as though the brain and the body are not in sync. This emotional strain is not just about reading, it extends to social interactions as well. A dyslexic person may dread situations where reading aloud is expected, such as in group discussions or presentations. They may avoid speaking up in meetings or social gatherings, not because they don't have valuable insights, but because they fear the judgment that comes with their dyslexia. This anxiety can lead to a withdrawal from situations where verbal expression is required, further reinforcing feelings of inadequacy and isolation. The mental burden of anticipating failure in these moments creates an emotional barrier that prevents them from engaging fully with their environment. Moreover, the impact of this fear extends beyond just the ability to speak. It can affect how dyslexic individuals approach tasks that require written communication as well. Even something as simple as writing a text message or composing an email can become a source of anxiety, especially when they are concerned about how their words might sound or be interpreted. They may second-guess every word, overanalyze every sentence, and feel a heightened sense of pressure to get it right. This can lead to procrastination or avoidance of tasks that require written or spoken communication altogether. For many individuals with dyslexia, the fear of reading aloud is a deeply rooted emotional challenge, often developed over years of negative experiences in academic, professional, and social settings. It's a fear not only born of the difficulty of reading itself, but from the emotional toll of trying to communicate when every attempt feels like a public performance fraught with errors. This fear is exacerbated by the perception that no matter how hard they try, their words will not come out right. They know their speech will be disjointed and hesitant, And perhaps most painfully, they hear the very same thing that others will hear, only in a more amplified way. Dyslexic individuals are acutely aware of the jumbled, swirling letters and words on the page, which seem to shift and distort the moment they look away. Imagine standing in front of a class, a workplace, or even a family gathering, hoping to read aloud but knowing that your words are going to come out garbled. The anxiety of performing in front of others while struggling to read clearly creates an immense emotional burden. For someone who experiences dyslexia, reading is not the smooth, effortless flow that most others take for granted. Instead, it's often like wading through a thick fog where the words themselves become foreign, slippery, and difficult to hold on to. For the dyslexic person, reading aloud is not just a challenge. It's a public test that can feel like an endurance trial, each mistake reinforcing feelings of shame, embarrassment, and self-doubt. This anxiety often results in avoidance. Dyslexic individuals may go to great lengths to avoid situations that require them to read aloud, fearing the negative judgment that might come from their struggles. This avoidance can lead to further isolation, as the individual withdraws from social, academic, or professional opportunities that demand verbal expression. The cycle of fear and avoidance only deepens their self-doubt, creating an emotional distance between them and the world around them. It's a painful experience, one that is often misunderstood by those who do not experience the same challenges. But it's not just the act of reading aloud that causes distress. The emotional toll is deeply tied to the cognitive dissonance that arises when dyslexic individuals try to reconcile their internal thoughts with the external act of speaking. They may understand the material perfectly, but find themselves unable to articulate it clearly. The disconnect between the clarity of thought and the disjointed way the words come out is profoundly frustrating. It's like watching yourself try to paint with a brush that won't follow your intentions, no matter how hard you try. In this way, the struggle with dyslexia becomes more than just a cognitive challenge. It's an emotional and psychological one, too. The effects of this emotional strain can extend beyond reading to all forms of communication. Written communication, in particular, becomes a source of anxiety. Dyslexic individuals might find themselves overanalyzing every word they type or write, worried that their sentences will not convey their thoughts properly. They may second-guess every email, text message, or report, fearing that others will misinterpret their words. This pressure to get everything right can result in procrastination, avoidance, and increased stress as the person feels the weight of every word they write. The lack of understanding from others further compounds these struggles. Friends, family, and colleagues who do not fully understand the depth of dyslexia's impact may unintentionally reinforce feelings of inadequacy. Phrases like, "just try harder," or "you'll get it eventually," can feel dismissive, as they fail to acknowledge the real neurological hurdles that dyslexic individuals face. These well-meaning comments can lead to a sense of isolation, making individuals feel as though their struggles are invisible and unworthy of empathy. This is where assistive technologies, like Polly Speaks for You, play a crucial role. By providing immediate, tailored support for reading and writing tasks, these tools help dyslexic individuals overcome the barriers that have historically held them back. With text-to-speech capabilities, Polly Speaks for You allows users to hear text read aloud, reducing the cognitive load involved in decoding written words. This simple yet powerful function offers a profound sense of relief, allowing individuals to engage with text without the frustration of trying to make sense of shifting letters or words. Hearing the words spoken aloud also helps users become more aware of how their writing or speech sounds, offering an opportunity to refine their communication in a way that feels safe and non-judgmental. The ability to hear text being read aloud also has a powerful impact on confidence. For many dyslexic individuals, this can be a breakthrough moment. They no longer feel as though they are fighting against the words on the page. Instead, they gain control over how the text is processed, reducing the fear of making mistakes. This newfound sense of control helps restore confidence, and over time, it can diminish the anxiety associated with reading and speaking aloud. As users grow accustomed to hearing text read back to them, they begin to internalize the rhythm and structure of well-formed sentences, which in turn enhances their ability to read and write more fluidly. The technology's real-time feedback features, such as spelling and grammar checks, also help users gain more control over their written communication. They can see mistakes before they become major issues and have the opportunity to correct them in a way that feels less overwhelming. Word prediction tools, meanwhile, allow dyslexic individuals to feel more confident in their writing, knowing that they have guidance in choosing the right words. This support not only improves their writing skills but also boosts their cognitive abilities by allowing them to focus more on expressing their ideas and less on the mechanics of writing. Perhaps most significantly, the use of assistive technology like Polly Speaks for You helps break the cycle of fear and avoidance. With consistent use, users begin to see that they are capable of reading, writing, and communicating effectively, even in the face of dyslexia's challenges. The act of reading aloud becomes less terrifying because they know they have the tools to help them through the process. Each success, no matter how small, reinforces their self-esteem and builds resilience. Over time, this leads to a more confident individual who no longer feels constrained by the limitations they once faced. The confidence gained through the use of these tools extends far beyond academic and professional settings. As dyslexic individuals begin to feel more comfortable reading and writing, they may find themselves more willing to engage in social situations, share their ideas, and express themselves freely. The emotional burden of dyslexia, which once seemed like an insurmountable obstacle, becomes more manageable, allowing them to embrace opportunities that were previously avoided. The value of assistive technology goes beyond just aiding in reading and writing. It provides dyslexic individuals with the tools they need to unlock their full potential. It reduces the mental and emotional strain of reading, improves cognitive functioning by reducing distractions, and restores confidence. With the right support, people with dyslexia can achieve great things, things they may never have believed were possible before. In a world that often fails to recognize the true impact of dyslexia, technologies like Polly Speaks for You are vital in leveling the playing field. By supporting individuals in overcoming their challenges, these tools empower them to engage more fully with the world around them, achieving greater success and finding their voice, literally and figuratively. As we continue to raise awareness about the value of assistive technologies and the struggles of dyslexic individuals, we can foster a more inclusive society where everyone has the tools they need to thrive. Assistive technologies like Polly Speaks for You can help alleviate this burden by providing the support needed to navigate these challenges with greater ease. With text-to-speech functionality, dyslexic individuals can hear the words read aloud to them, reducing the cognitive load of reading and enabling them to engage with text in a more comfortable and intuitive way. This also allows them to hear how their writing or speech sounds, giving them the confidence to refine their thoughts without fear of judgment. The ability to listen to their words and see them in writing can help them gain clarity, reducing the disjointed feeling they often experience when reading or speaking on their own. Furthermore, the ability to receive feedback in real time through spelling and grammar suggestions or word predictions allows dyslexic individuals to feel more in control of their work. These tools can smooth out the rough edges of their writing and reading, making the process feel less overwhelming and more manageable. With technology that adapts to their needs, dyslexic individuals are empowered to push through their fear and engage more fully with the world around them. Over time, these technologies can help restore a sense of agency and self-assurance. As dyslexic individuals gain greater control over their reading and writing, the fear of reading aloud or communicating in public begins to diminish. The disjointed feeling of not being able to express oneself clearly becomes less frequent, replaced by a growing sense of confidence and competence. With the right support, the once daunting task of reading aloud transforms into a more manageable challenge, one that can be tackled with the assurance that, no matter the outcome, they have the tools and resources to navigate the journey. The emotional toll of dyslexia is profound, but through understanding, empathy, and the use of assistive technologies like Polly Speaks for You, individuals can overcome the obstacles that once held them back. By making their world more accessible and reducing the cognitive and emotional load of reading and writing, these technologies allow them to focus on what truly matters, expressing themselves freely, confidently, and authentically. If you're enjoying this story, please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue creating content that educates and empowers. To learn more about South Africa's leading accessibility software and to support our dyslexic-friendly initiative, visit www.polispeaks4u.co.za. Drop a comment if you want more information. Thank you for watching this video.